1956 was a good year for four young musicians who literally became instrumental in concocting a new, vibrant Technicolor soundtrack for those cool, finger-snapping, zombie-drinking, hi-fi hipsters. It was the age of lounge music and tiki culture. Their music was called exotica, and it originated here in Hawaii, evoking images of a tropical paradise few had seen.
Well, as far as we can tell, it started around right after World War II, when sailors who were in the South Pacific came back with tales of exotic lands, exotic girls, exotic drinks.
What was missing was the soundtrack, and a man named
Martin Denny,
the kahuna of exotica, came along and had a huge international hit called Quiet Village that hit the top of the Billboard charts in, I think, 56. And it had these album titles like Primitiva and Tamboo. It was kind of music for sophisticated savages.
And it featured bongos, vibes, and bird calls, which are basically the three ingredients of exotica music.
People were very fascinated and wanted to create this world in their own backyard. So all of a sudden we had backyard luau spring up and a whole bunch of themed restaurants like Don the Beachcomber and Trader Vic's and all these fun places that
sort of like this place right here.
Kind of like La Mariana where we are right here, because life was rather tame in the 50s and the suburbia coming along. So this was a way of bringing a little bit of primitive, savage, maybe sexual undertones of music into your living room with your new hi-fi system. This is where the days of Playboy magazine and bachelor pad music, and you put this music on to test your stereo. Wow, we can hear it in stereo. Bongos on the right, bird calls on the left, vibraphones in the middle, that type of a thing. So it just kind of helped foster this whole fantasy world that people were trying to set up in their own homes and their own backyards.
Fluid Floyd had become friends with Martin Denny, the source of all of this, and thought that it would be a good idea for us to put together a CD of music in this style. So we did. We used a lot of my friends who are accomplished jazz musicians, and they helped realize a very, very nice CD called The Forbidden Sounds of Don Tiki. And it also included Martin Denny, made a guest appearance. He was always very supportive of us. And so when we had our album release party, people came and they loved it. The place was packed, and it became a show at that point in time.
I got an island in the Pacific, and everything about it is terrific. I got the sun to tan me, palms to fan me, and on occasion a man.
With a resurgence in tiki lounge culture, groups like Don Tiki are bringing the sounds of exotica back. And in a way, history is repeating itself.
In Martin's original band was a man named Augie Cologne, who was from Hawaii, but he brought all the congas and bongas and jungle sounds and bird calls, and he lived on Molokai, and his son Lopaka was genetically coded by Dad to carry on with these sounds, and he now plays with Don Tiki and some of the other prominent bands here in Hawaii, and they are able to imitate all these jungle sounds that they've actually gone off into the rainforest to listen quietly and study, and a lot of times people hear it and they think we're just putting in National Geographic tapes, but it's actually Lopaka who's doing all these things live, which is pretty amazing to hear him, on our recordings, and to see him do it live. It's a lot of fun.
Actually, he's also added monkeys, but don't go looking for monkeys on Molokai.
Maybe at the Honolulu Zoo.
Yeah.
All these elements came together to kind of create this almost cinematic new sound that paint a picture in people's mind of must be what Hawaii sounds like, because you could hear this music and be transported to kind of a sensual tropical fantasy of your mind, because it's kind of an archetypical thing. Everybody dreams of being on the perfect beach, on a perfect island, away from far from the maddening crowds.
Tropical, tropical, the endless summer where palm trees play, mangoes, papayas, just another perfect day. Tropical, tropical, a shady lagoon in South Sea blue. Don't bother to fly, 'cause the tropics will come to you.
This is the music that's your gateway to that place in your mind, or in your tiki bar in your basement in Cleveland, Ohio, or wherever you were from.
And we can actually convey this because we actually have been on the perfect beach with nobody around, and we know what it's like, and we feel privileged that we're doing it.
In this day and age of impossible lifestyles, fast food, and even faster computers, our quest for paradise lost is found in the forbidden world of exotica.